Good morning, everybody. I want to share something with you a little bit deeper than we usually go on the Friday morning videos, but it's a beautiful thought that's relevant to the times that we live in and relevant to each and every one of us personally. The famous struggle between Jacob and the spiritual force that he battles with and struggles with and wrestles with takes place in this week's Parsha. And it says that struggle carried on throughout the evening. In the darkness of night, Jacob was struggling and wrestling with this spiritual force, and then he continued struggling until the morning light, until the first rays of dawn began to arise in the sky. And the sages explain that this is a deep metaphor for Jewish history on one hand, and the redemption in our own lives on an individual level. That we are meant to struggle in this world until dawn, until the first rays of light come up. And as a nation, as the Jewish people, our struggle and our battle and our wanderings and our challenges as a people will continue also until the dawn of Mashiach, until that period of time when human redemption will take place. Now, what do we know about daybreak? So there's a story in the Talmud about two great rabbi sages that were walking at night, and daybreak was approaching. And one of the rabbis pointed out that look how the light is coming up. Look how those rays, the beginning of the morning, is starting to appear in the sky. He said that's the same way that redemption takes place. Redemption on a national level, meaning the period when the Jewish people will see Mashiach, the Messiah, and the end of struggle and suffering, but also redemption on a personal level, on a human level, in our own challenges, in the own difficulties that we go through in our lives. Now we have to understand something very powerful, and that is, how does the morning light arise? How does that dawn first appear? Does it appear suddenly, boom, all of a sudden the lights go on, the sun appears in the sky? No. The Talmud says, and this rabbi points out to his colleague, the way the sun comes up in the morning is little by little, incrementally, slowly, gradually. It's a slow, gradual process of illumination. It's not all of a sudden. If it were all of a sudden, it would be terribly problematic, because at night our eyes have become used to the dark. And if all of a sudden the light went on super bright, it would be difficult. We have to get used to it. It has to happen incrementally. That's how the light comes up, and that's how redemption is going to take place also on a personal level and on a national level, slowly, gradually. We want everything to be good. We want everything to work out in our lives. We want our problems to go away, but that's not how human reality works. Human reality works in such a way that we are always in a process of redemption. We are always moving closer and closer to the greatness and the beauty and the light that is beyond us. And it's a gradual process. So we have to remember this as a people, as a nation, as we're waiting for that dawn of history to take place, that this isn't going to happen all of a sudden in one moment. It's a process that's taking place, that's unfolding here in the land of Israel before our eyes, which is a very exciting thing, but also on a personal level in our own lives. The challenges and struggles that we have, just because we haven't solved them, just because they're not over, doesn't mean that they're not in a process of improvement, in a process of solution. And that's a deep element of Jewish faith that we have to hold on to. So when Jacob wrestles with that spiritual force all night long, representing the struggle that the Jewish people would have in exile, and the struggle that each and every one of us individually would have in our own lives, the moments of exile, the moments of darkness, the moments of confusion, that struggle goes on until dawn, until the light begins to rise. And it rises slowly and gradually. For Jacob in his struggle, for the Jewish people in our national struggle, and for each and every one of us in the own challenges and struggles that we have in our lives. Wishing everybody a wonderful Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom from Yerushalayim.